Tonight on News 5 Live, Cayo District is inundated with floodwaters following the passage of Tropical Storm Julia. A daring rescue of a delivery truck driver on the coastal road. A well-known marine biologist is shot and killed in Harmony Village. And Commissioner of Police details the operation at Caribbean International Brewing that netted authorities $3.1 million in cold, hard cash. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for financial literacy journalism.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
V-Bucks by Benny's, Belize's newest multi-brand rewards program. To access V-Bucks, download the mobile app or access the website portal at bbucks.bz and set up your account. If you already have a Benny's account, chances are you already have V-Bucks. Don't let them go to waste. To earn V-Bucks, make a purchase at any Benny's location or at any of these Benny's entities, namely Island Freight Forwarders, Best Manufacturing, Benquip, and B-Mart. Once V-Bucks are earned, reward yourself. Use V-Bucks to buy items or exchange for cash. You can also double, triple, or even quadruple your V-Bucks on promotional days. It is simple. Purchase, earn, redeem. Loyalty is always rewarding with V-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's, celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
Belize Commercial Laundry and Linens is a new, automated, state-of-the-art and safety-engineered commercial laundry facility in Belize, offering a full array of top-quality laundry and linen services for Belize's healthcare and commercial sectors countrywide, including hotels, resorts, and restaurants. For more information on how we can serve you, contact us at telephone 227-3396 or info@belizelaundry.com.
Buying a car should be a great experience, and St. John's Credit Union wants to make it even better. But we offer more than just great low rates. We make the application process easy and make sure our members get the best service possible. At St. John's Credit Union, we offer excellent products backed by exceptional service. So the next time you are buying a new or used vehicle, take advantage of St. John's Credit Union's Drive Forward Auto Loan product. We put the buying power in your hands. Come and drive forward with our auto loans with rates as low as 9% and low or no down payments. Drive forward with St. John's Credit Union. Some restrictions apply.
DigiTV. Step into the world of digital entertainment. DigiTV gives you access to 100+ channels on your TV or your mobile device at unbeatable prices. Take your shows with you wherever you go. It's a new level of freedom. Enjoy your favorite entertainment, sports, family, Latin, and local channels. No more fighting for the TV remote. You can access whenever you want from 2 devices at the same time. DigiTV is for everyone. And with the fastest fiber and mobile networks in the country, you are guaranteed to have the best experience ever. There's no installation required. Sign up for the Max package for only $40 monthly and get the first 2 months for just $30. For a limited time, get 50% off a Fire Stick when you sign up. Download the DigiTV app from the Android or Apple stores. Just WhatsApp us at 608-8888 to sign up. It's that easy. Watch, experience, enjoy DigiTV today.
Are you eligible for Amnesty 2022? This is your opportunity to apply. When you log on to www.immigration.gov.bz, you will find a full list of required documents needed for the amnesty criteria you are eligible for. Be sure to gather all general and supporting documents needed, including all necessary translations. Then, make your appointment online with any of our registration centers countrywide. There, you will submit your documents and complete the required interviews. Thereafter, an acceptance receipt will be provided. While you wait for a decision on your application, track its progress online and know when to make payment at your nearest government treasury office. Once completed, you will receive your permanent residence card, showing your legal status within Belize. Find out more about the Amnesty 2022 and how to apply online at www.immigration.gov.bz. Be prepared. The registration period will be from the 2nd of August to the 30th of November 2022. Belize Amnesty 2022. Let's continue to build Belize together.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, October 11th. I am Sabrina Daly. There was a daring rescue earlier today along the coastal road where a vehicle driver whose delivery truck was inundated by flood waters had to be saved from the raging current. It was a successful effort at saving the life of one individual. But tonight, other parts of the country remain submerged as flood waters are gradually receding in the west. On Monday, the water level of the Mopan and Macal rivers rose by several feet. Businesses were flooded out and several areas across the Cayo district and downtown San Ignacio were inundated. There was quick response by the National Emergency Management Organization to rescue persons who were trapped in certain communities, and several shelters were opened. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports from Western Belize.
There was an air of despair on Monday as water levels in the Mopan and Macal rivers rose quickly to submerge areas in downtown San Ignacio, Santa Elena and surrounding villages. Main roads were impassable and some communities were cut off from the rest of the country. Several families were displaced and businesses relocated. As early as Sunday night, the Emergency Operations Center was activated and waves of distress calls came rushing in from various villages.
Our areas of concern so far, Benke has been lots of rain, and then we have the Mopan River, Sokots, rising, and with a view that we had to re-strategize because Sokots may be isolated, and Benke might be isolated from the area where Sokots is. So we're concentrating on Sokots, we're concentrating on Kala Creek also, and then we have all the other communities, low-lying areas. Low-lying bridge has been closed off to vehicular traffic. Iguana Creek Bridge, closed off, okay? We have closed off Kala Creek because it's unsafe, the Hammock Bridge. So we know that for that, limited movement and restrictions. So as we said earlier, we need to re-strategize, reposition our assets, our resources, and our personnel.
Between Sunday night and Monday morning, or less than 24 hours, up to 20 families had to be evacuated from their homes. Some were taken to shelters, while others stayed with relatives.
We have evacuated some people from the Kala Creek area that was a major flood, and we moved them to our shelter in Sokots. Also, we have evacuated a few families from Benke Viejo in the flood-prone area, the area that we call free zone area, and they have moved to the shelter in Mopan High School.
The water rose as far as Bismillah Store and past the football field near the Makal River Park.
For those that are acquainted with San Ignacio, the water level came all the way to Bismillah Store by the pedestrian ramp. It's basically just around the perimeter of the Welcome Center at the back. So it came all the way there, filled up the water level with the parking area for the Welcome Center. All that was inundated. So it's from there coming all the way along the backside of the Venus Hotel and the other establishments along that path up to Bismillah Store.
Mayor Earl Trapp says that the issue is compounded by the improper disposal of garbage by residents.
Many people are not disposing of the garbage properly. They leave it rolling around, and whenever we have torrential rain and the water comes down, it flushes everything into the drain, and then it clogs up the drain, and then it causes water to back up. So people will have to do their part to begin to dispose of the garbage properly. But yes, it's affecting many.
Fortunately, the water is now receding, but Mayor Trapp says this will take some time.
We had a lot of debris that came down, so the guys were out cleaning those. We have the crews out in trying to deal with the areas that were affected in terms of where it was flooding, what caused the flooding in terms of the debris. They are clearing up the culvert head. At this moment, we are washing down the Welcome Center using our truck, and of course the fire engine is out there supporting us as well. And we are restoring, of course, our different the different establishments are being restored in terms of cleaning and bringing back the equipments to their business to restart a new business day.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Many vendors and business owners had to pack up their appliances and products and relocate to higher ground in an effort to minimize the damages associated with the flood. In this report from News 5's Dwayne Moody, within a short period of doing interviews in downtown San Ignacio with business owners, the flood water entered into their establishments. Here's that report.
These were the images captured back in early November 2020 when the remnants of Hurricane Eta dumped water on western Belize. Floodwaters rose by almost 10 feet to submerge the Cayo Welcome Center in downtown San Ignacio. From above, only the rooftops could have been seen. There were huge losses recorded by the private sector in the wake of the floods, and so this time around, business owners in that vicinity, including market vendors, took no chances. They were quick to pack up their stuff and seek higher ground.
Yeah, right now we're just trying to clear out the shops. I think everybody down here at the market side has been trying to clear out the shops. We're just trying to take out all of our stuff because, as you can see, the water is close to rising. If we wait until another 2 hours an hour, our shops may be covered like what happened, I think, 2 years ago, right? Well, like I said, 1 hour, 2 hours, we could already see it by our doorstep, so we have to take out everything right now from also here and from my uncle's shop, the tour guide place.
Could you speak to me about the loss that you guys experienced last time this happened? I think everything was destroyed.
Well, inside we had to paint everything over. I believe we lost the AC. We weren't able to get everything out in time. but we just managed to get out the showcase. We managed to get out some, the smaller things, but we weren't able to take out the bigger things. So we had to purchase new AC, new fridge, because once it gets soaked with water, we can't do anything.
To give an idea of how quickly the water rose, when we commenced the interview with Sylvan Rodas, there was little to no water on the street. 5 minutes later, the street was completely inundated. While some market vendors secured their booths and called it a day, some relocated to the Falcon Field across from the town hall. Mayor Earl Trapp says that it is a temporary space for the vendors.
We have already advised the market vendors to relocate, and as you just mentioned, you saw them relocating to the Falcon Field. Why? Because we saw the river rapidly rising this morning, and of course with the intense rain that was on, and of course the storm is coming from the south. So we are still anticipating that we will get a lot of water from that side. And then it's raining in Guatemala. Guatemala had a big impact on that as well. So I'm sure that we are expecting the waters from Guatemala to recede in this area.
While the flood water has since receded from inside the shops and the market, business owners are trying to clean up and return to normal business. Even ahead of today, however, Rodas expressed concerns about recovering.
It's costly, and there's nothing set in place for businesses after this. The government will just tell us, oh, well, you guys have to get back up on your feet, but there is no help for the businesses out here. No one will come and say, you know what, here's $5,000 just for your damages. Nobody will help us. We have to do it on our own.
It's minimal that the council can do at this time. If there's any loss in terms of goods, then I believe that NEMO would have to step in and see what is their losses, or what are their losses, and then see how they can assist. But that would be more something for NEMO to assess and see what budget they have and how they can assist.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Residents living along the Belize River in the Belize District are being advised to seek higher grounds as floodwaters from Cayo District are rapidly moving east. According to Lieutenant Colonel Shelton DeFore, the Belize River Valley area can expect a significant flooding event. Here is what he told reporters this evening via Zoom during a NEMO press conference.
We are bracing for potentially a significant flood event in the Belize River Valley area. The water is cresting in the Belize River in the Cayo District. It's moving downhill at a rapid pace, and so with the inundation where the ground was already saturated in those areas due to pooling and accumulation of water, it means now that you have this second wave of flood waters that will reach into places like Crooked Tree. They are already experiencing flooding. A family is being affected, and so far they have decided not to move as yet. We have advised them to move. And so we'll see other communities like Lemonal, which will be impacted, and all the string of communities in the River Valley. So we are warning people to take heed, listen to the advisory. Another advisory will be coming out this evening, giving some specifics as to what people are to be doing.
Floodwaters from Mopan and Macal rivers in the west will find their way down to the Belize District. And so communities along the Belize River should be preparing for that eventuality. Over the weekend, water levels in Roaring Creek had already been rising. Again, it is not as devastating as 2020, but residents are being advised to stay vigilant. Interim Regional Coordinator Javier Castellanos for NEMO Central explains.
As you're aware, it is just beginning. Okay, the dams have spilled, which is normal. So all of them have spilled. That is normal. No need to alert about the dams. So we have additional water coming down from the dams, and then we have the waters coming down from the hills. And then what will happen? Of course, we will see that splurge of water coming across the low-lying areas of San Ignacio and Santa Elena. And then as it gets further east, when the Macal and the Mopan merge and become the Belize River. So eventually the communities down along the Erite. So it's just starting, and yes, we need to be alert, and we are monitoring it very closely. And all information updates, the public will be informed.
Coming up, high tides and rough sea conditions batter Monkey River. Details when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, "Don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand." The first need of man that God addressed was loneliness. God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him." Loneliness is one of man's greatest enemies. Kipling said, "The human soul is essentially a very lonely thing. We're born alone, die alone, and in the depths of our hearts we live alone." None are exempt from the despair of loneliness, though some experience deeper depths than others. Elijah felt alone. David felt alone and forsaken by his best friend. The Apostle Paul in prison wrote, "At my first answer no man stood with me, but all men forsook me." However, no one ever experienced the pain of loneliness like Jesus did. More than once his disciples forsook him. Yet his loneliness was never expressed more painfully than it was on the cross when he cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Bishop Vincent once said of Christ, "He was himself forsaken that none of his children might ever need to utter his cry of loneliness." Today I know not the depth of the pain of your loneliness, but I leave you this promise from Jesus, who said, "I will never leave thee nor forsake thee." So remember, friend, you are not alone.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
So here we have two households, two kids doing what kids do, and two loads of stained covered laundry. One uses regular detergent, but only Fab has tough stain lifting power.
Wait, really? That's right. To get rid of all types of stains, use Fab. Adding Fab laundry detergent to the wash not only fights the toughest stains, but the colors won't fade. And Fab leaves clothes smelling fantastic. So pass it on.
Because your family deserves the best in laundry care. Fab, taking care of your laundry so you can take care of your family. Find it at your nearest store. Exclusively distributed by Big Limited.
It's spooky season, and I've got the scoop for you. If you are on the hunt for a new Samsung device, then look forward to some scarily big savings on the full A-Series and S-Series lineup, with phones starting at a scarily low price of just $349 and Galaxy Tabs for only $439. Plus, all devices are protected with a 1-year local warranty. The awesome Galaxy lineup includes the A03 Core, A03, A13, A22, A23, A33, A52s, A53, S20FE, S21FE, S22, S22 Plus, S22 Ultra, and the newly released Galaxy Fold 4 and Galaxy Flip 4 phones. Only at any Samsung authorized resellers, including Cellular World, Dibari, Digi, and Westra, and grab yourself a spooky deal on your next upgrade with Samsung's Spooky Savings Promotion.
Biodegradable plastics. When talking about plastic, don't you always hear people say that this plastic or that plastic is biodegradable, eco-friendly, environmentally friendly, green, or even ecological? Well, the truth is that these words and many others like them are often used to give the impression that the product is better for the environment. When shopping, the terms to look for are bio-based, compostable, or environmentally degradable plastics because they are tested against specific standards to ensure that they are broken down with minimal impacts to the environment. But what does biodegradable really mean? To put it simply, it is the breakdown of something into water, carbon dioxide, and biomass by the action of living organisms, usually bacteria or fungus. However, people call some plastics biodegradable, but they never fully break down because they still contain plastics made from petroleum or inorganic material. The plastics just break down into tinier pieces called microplastics, which then enter the food cycle through the ingestion by animals that people eat. Don't be fooled, check your labels. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Tonight, Monkey River Village in southern Belize is only accessible by sea. Floodwaters have completely cut off the village by land. And while that is the situation those residents are faced with today, Monday brought its own set of challenges. High tides and rough sea conditions dealt a severe blow to residents living along the coast, sending at least one house crashing into the sea. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Today, it was impossible to get to Monkey River Village by vehicle. The river that runs adjacent to the road was overflowing. Floodwaters had completely taken over this passageway, which is used by residents of the coastal community to get to work and school. Our attempt at reaching Monkey River by vehicle proved futile. We eventually had to turn back. And on Monday, high tide coupled with rains and winds from Tropical Storm Julia's outer bands had residents living along the coast dashing to secure their homes from falling into the sea.
At the seafront, yeah, there was I think they never feel too happy because the sea was lashing this at their house, and the tide come up very high, and that's only the high tide from sea. Now with the weight from the one we come down from the river. So I figure we're going our next high tide because the river is supposed to full right now, right?
With all their efforts, residents were unable to stop this wooden structure from collapsing into the sea. Over time, the land beneath the house had significantly eroded, and what remained was no match for the high tide and rough sea conditions.
It's the erosion cause that. I mean, every day the erosion is coming in more to the community, right? Because nothing to stop the sea from hit the beach, right? I don't know if you may know Miss Eleanor Stanley, our house.
The house was considered a landmark by those in the village. One social media user noted that the large balcony facing the sea allowed residents to watch the fishers' boat head out to the fishing grounds and come back home after a long day. With no entrance and exit by land to and from the community currently, residents are traveling solely by boat. But this mode of transportation is expensive due to the high cost of fuel.
We road as, upgrade none at all. Kids that go to high school, and I don't know how they will reach now because nothing the bus that take them to high school can't move every day. The children that go to high school, right? You have about 12 or 13 kids that go to high school.
And today they're at home.
Yeah. No, I think that when someone take them through sea, but that is a big expense. Parents take their children to school to Mango Creek in boat, right? Because the fuel is also expensive.
Castellanos, like many of the villagers living along the coastal community, is pleading for assistance in mitigating this growing problem of coastal erosion.
We hope and we wish that they could bring some rocks and or some bolas and throw along the coastline from the bar mouth to maybe where the cemetery is.
Some people are suggesting that it is time for residents in Monkey River to evacuate that community, to altogether leave the community. What do you say to that?
Well, it'd be nice, but the problem we have that we can't get no land at the, let's say in Mango Creek, we can the government are not facilitated with a piece of land or so build a house or so, right?
So if you got land, you would move?
definitely, because this is coming every year, it be worse and worse.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
On Sunday evening in Belize City, a vortex in Lake Eyre destroyed several homes as it made its way across part of the community. The neighborhood most impacted was the area near McKay Boulevard, where the whirlwind pulled apart roofs, knocked down fences, and threatened to topple power lines. It came and went quickly and left in its wake a trail of disaster for residents who were already living in abject conditions. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
You don't have a peace of mind when you don't have a place to call home. You know, everybody wants somewhere to call home, you know, and everybody, children deserves also somewhere to call home. This was our home, you know, and as you can see, it's been destroyed.
50-year-old Christopher McCoy is a father of 5. On Sunday evening, a whirlwind tore through certain parts of Lake Independence, severely damaging his home and leaving his family temporarily displaced.
I was in the house with my common law wife and my kids, and I was getting ready to make something to eat. And then I just start feeling one shake, the house start shake. So I may think, nothing of it, maybe I just want to leave breeze. I know one storm is supposed to come through. And then after I start shake harder. So my 14-year-old, me in the living room, I tell him, hurry, go get your brother, because he's asleep. And his sister me in the room, and he run to get your brother. Same time, one zinc blow up, but we fly off of the back of my house. And the storm come like it come hard and start shake. I try to open the door. Couldn't open the door because something made their back out or something. So I stamped the door open. Same time I stamped the door open, we ran out. And when we ran out, the whole house leaned and dropped, and water started coming out of the house.
McCoy wasn't the only resident in this community to have suffered structural damages to his property. At the corners of Miller Street and McKay Boulevard, several blocks over, the spinning column of air wreaked havoc in the area, tearing off roofs and knocking down fences.
I came to my screen door, and when I came to the screen door, all I heard was shh, like a swirling sound. And then when I look across the street, I saw that the roof across the street flew away. And then when I looked to the house next to that house, I saw that the zinc was skinned back. And then that was when I came outside, and then I realized that the house across the river was also damaged.
It all happened rather quickly. McCoy, his children, and his wife were not prepared for the freak storm that caught them flat-footed. He is appealing for assistance to repair what remains of his inundated home. In the wake of the sudden disaster, the laborer and his 2 sons have been forced to sleep in an outdoor bathroom that belongs to his neighbors.
When I went back, tried to go back in the house, everything was just full up with water. All the mattress, everything was just messed up with water, you know. So God is good, because I thank God, you know, because it could have been a lot worse. One of we could have get hurt, you know. The hardest part about this whole thing for me is that, you know, I work hard, you know. Even when I know the work, I go around with my machine. I try to cut yard, me and my son. We all about sometimes they look for yard to cut. And I just, before we was staying in this house, we were living in a bathroom size house, one small bathroom size, 5 are we, you know. And no, sorry, 7 are we, my kids and me and my common law wife was living in a Lee bathroom size house. And some good people found out our situation, and they helped us, assist us in building this place.
According to a resident of Miller Street who spoke under the condition of anonymity, police response following the incident was fairly prompt.
As it happened, a while after the police came, and then after a van came, I don't know who it really was. I know police came out of the van too, and then you had people that were dressed in civilian clothes, so I'm not sure who they were. And then a while after, BL came, so, and they're on the scene now.
What time was this?
It was a little after 6, I think.
In McCoy's case, he is asking for help from anyone willing to lend a hand in rebuilding his home. He can be contacted at phone number 621-7792. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
And the Ministry of Agriculture has already sent out personnel to assess the agricultural damages associated with the weekend's flooding. According to Minister Orlando Habet, floodwaters will have to recede before the government of Belize can calculate the value of the damages. But what he did inform us is that losses are significant.
A lot of the production for agriculture, food items in the Spanish Coast, Cayo area was affected, especially soybeans, black beans and red beans, and also corn. And some of these were already, the process for harvesting had already commenced. So when the rains came and the flooding increased, some of these went underwater, some of them are still underwater. So maybe there will be a certain percentage that will still be able to be harvested. However, spoilage commences very quickly because they're all soaked up in water. They have to be put through a drying process, which is also expensive. But also the cost for harvesting increases because the machinery, the combine, which normally does the harvesting for corn and beans, will not be able to pick them up off the ground. So if they want to really get some of that product that's now in the ground, it will involve manual harvesting, which is very expensive and very inefficient. Many times the water soaks into the seeds and they start germinating even before you are able to harvest them. So there will be significant losses. But as the Colonel mentioned, we will be able to do an estimate after the waters recede.
Late this evening, we heard from Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon on the overall impact of Tropical Storm Julia to Belize. He explained the severe weather that came with those outer bands throughout the weekend. Here is what he had to say via Zoom.
As we had expected, the outer bands of this system produced torrential rainfall over the weekend. We saw the rainfalls increasing ahead of the system with a moist northeasterly airflow from as early as Friday into Saturday, and then the heavier stuff came down on Sunday when the outer bands began affecting Belize. On Sunday, we had rainfall totals of almost 6 inches in the Placentia area, and also in the other parts of the country, in Middlesex, we had about 8 inches of rainfall. Eventually, on Monday, the remnants moved further west and affected the western parts of the country, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, where we saw upwards of 3 inches of rainfall in a very short period of time, producing the flooding event that we saw in that area. In terms of other impacts, apart from the rainfall, we had very gusty winds of 15 to 25 knots with the system. We also had severe thunderstorms developing, and one of those thunderstorms resulted in what we refer to as a microburst, affecting portions of the Belize City area, whereby you have this sudden surge of wind coming down, hitting the surface of the ground and spreading out very rapidly, which resulted in, of course, some damage to some structures. I believe there were roof damage for the most part, and downing of power lines in that area as well, no?
After the break, we'll tell you about the 2 murders that were recorded over the extended weekend in Harmonyville and Pomona. But first, here's the weather forecast from the Belize Met Service.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast prepared by the National Meteorological Service. I am meteorologist Shana Young. Mainly fair weather conditions prevailed across much of the area today compared to moist conditions that was observed over the weekend as a result of Hurricane Julia, with maximum rainfall observed over the Santa Cruz district near 10 inches, while up in the north only 2 inches was observed over the last 3 days. Taking a look at tonight's weather forecast. Fair conditions will continue over most areas except for a few showers over Dangriga, Placentia, and also Punta Gorda during the course of tonight. Tonight's low temperatures will range from 78 degrees Fahrenheit near Belize City and San Pedro, with 77 near Dangriga and Placentia, while only 70 degrees Fahrenheit can be expected over Belmopan and also San Ignacio. Taking a look at tomorrow's weather conditions, a similar trend is expected to continue with only fair weather conditions observed over most areas during the day tomorrow, while high temperatures will be 91 degrees Fahrenheit near Belmopan and San Ignacio, with 87 degrees Fahrenheit near San Pedro, Belize City, and also Dangriga. Taking a look at the 4-day forecast, a similar trend is expected to continue through to Saturday with mainly fair weather conditions during the daytime and only a few more showers over the south during the nighttime. Taking a look at the tropics, conditions have significantly quieted down over our area with only minimum showers observed on satellite imagery over the Southwest Caribbean Sea and also Northwest Caribbean. However, this afternoon at 3 p.m., Tropical Storm Carl formed off the remnants of Hurricane Julia over the Bay of Campeche and continues to move to the northwest and away from Belize. Taking a look at the marine conditions, tonight winds will be from the east at 10 to 20 knots with waves of 4 to 6 feet, and sea conditions will be moderate. Conditions will become less gusty tomorrow with winds of 5 to 15 knots. Taking a look at the astronomical conditions, there will be a low tide at 5:45 tomorrow morning, followed by a high tide at 10:48 in the morning and another low at 5:20 tomorrow evening. The sun will rise at 5:45 in the morning and will set at 5:32 tomorrow evening. The moon will set at 8:10 in the morning and will rise tomorrow night at 7:41. Join us again on Wednesday for another weather report and forecast prepared by the National Meteorological Service. I am meteorologist Shana Young.
I am.
We are.
All of us. Together.
12 decades working to achieve health for all. Individually, collectively, universally.
This is our mission.
We stand together with all people.
In every community, every country, throughout the hemisphere.
Because we are healthier.
Together.
We are the Pan American Health Organization, celebrating 120 years of solidarity in advancing health and well-being, leaving no one behind.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
My name is Dr. Eck, and I'm a pediatrician at the Belize Pediatric Center. COVID-19 vaccines are safe to be used in persons with chronic illnesses, including children. Even children with asthma, diabetes, a heart condition, or any other illness can be vaccinated. Children with chronic illnesses have a greater risk for complications due to COVID-19 compared to healthy children. Get your child vaccinated at school or at the nearest vaccination site.
Late this evening, police formally arrested and charged John Horace Franklin, a 27-year-old vendor of Harmonyville, for the crime of murder. Franklin is believed to be one of several persons involved in the cold-blooded attack on well-known marine biologist Celso Kawich, who was shot dead on Saturday night inside his shop at his home in Harmonyville. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
38-year-old Celso Kawich was here at his shop on the ground floor of a two-story wooden structure he called home for the past 2 years. Around 6:30 p.m., two men reportedly approached and multiple shots were fired at Kawich at close range. The men then escaped and got into a waiting vehicle. Enma Gomez, who lives next door, says she heard the shots.
Solo oímos nosotros los balazos.
We only heard the gunshots. We didn't see anyone because it is very dark. Around 6:30, it is really dark and we couldn't see anything. We didn't see who it was. When we heard from the wife, she told us that he died en route to the hospital.
Kawich was hit multiple times to the body and rushed to the Western Regional Hospital, but did not survive.
Police have since detained 2 suspects. And the investigators also informed me that they are looking for 3 more persons believed to be involved in this murder. We will be issuing out posters if needs be, but I am allowing the investigators to check on some leads before doing so.
There is an outpour of condolences for Kawich, who is described as a law-abiding citizen who loved his work in conservation. Gomez says that he was helpful in the community.
We are so sorry about what happened. Only God can assist us at this time because they were really good neighbors. They did not interfere with anyone. They helped everybody who came in the community. If they didn't have money, they gave them credit, which helped people out.
So who wanted Kawich dead and why?
It would want to look like the initial intent was robbery. And from what witnesses have described, they are saying that when Mr. Kawich made a movement as to go towards his waist, for some reason, that was when the gunmen opened fire on him. So at first they made requests, and like I said, he walked back way. I walked a little, step a little back, and then these gunmen opened fire on him.
2-1.
One man is in police custody following a murder on Saturday morning in Pomona Village. 29-year-old Kevin Williams and his girlfriend were headed home from a night out when Williams was attacked. He was stabbed 3 times. He reportedly died in the arms of his girlfriend while the alleged killer fled the scene. That suspect has since been detained. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
29-year-old Kevin Williams was stabbed to death on Saturday morning in Pomona Village. Williams and his girlfriend were on their way home from a night out in the village when he was ambushed along the way. Williams' father, Richard Herrera, spoke with News 5.
What he was doing, you see, that day was the payday, right? So he and a young lady decided to go and turn the man across the Chinese store across the next side of the village. So he went to buy grocery. A lot of people say they're seeing there buying the grocery. People even say that when they reach the bar, they hear the young lady tell them, why not buy, you know the Rebel Rum? Why not buy the Rebel Rum right there, then we go straight home? No, he want to go to the Lee bar back more about quarter mile more where you could get it 50 cents cheaper.
According to Herrera, William and his girlfriend were almost home when the suspect approached them and immediately began attacking him.
I could tell you exactly what he said. He said exactly what he said. As he come out of the boat, he jumped straight and he chased and he said, "Oh no, tap! Sick no, tap! Sick no!" And right there he started to punch. The young lady, when we didn't think to punch him, they punch her back. But I don't punch her. He just stab him up. She think to punch. He dropped on the ground and he started to shake up. Otherwise, she think I'm knock out, but I knock out. It is dead.
The construction worker reportedly received 3 stab wounds, 1 to the stomach and 2 to the chest, injuries which would prove to be fatal. According to Herrera, the suspect is a well-known resident of Pomona. Today, police informed reporters that the alleged killer handed himself in on Monday.
Kevin Williams was in the company of a female when they were walking and approached by the Russian Salam, a 3-year-old security guard who jumped off his motorcycle and immediately attacked Williams. I know that on Monday, Williams handed himself into Damroga Police in the company of his attorney, Mr. Salvador. This time I know that police are following up several leads. They have recorded several statements, and we should be levying charges sometime soon. We're waiting for the advice of the DPP. Like you said, for us to go there and say that there were threats, the investigators haven't established that as yet.
This gentleman did all from one village. Me, I don't know from this village. I from originally from Belize, but this was a small village, and that's why that gentleman, they say my son grew up with my behavior. I think the woman in between. I always remind, I tell her, son, I wouldn't mind a drink, but why you not drink the Guinness, put blood or stout? He said, no, Dad. He said, I love this rebel, I love this, give me this better. He always, he work on the road where they fix the paving, and every morning he did at the house, and every minute he brush up here, because he love it, brush up here. I tell him, Kevin, the road we're going to work on the road. No, Dad, I know I'm going to look. That was a cool young boy. His birthday just kind of June, just 29 years old.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
When we return, 8 Asian nationals are arraigned for immigration offenses following a raid at the Mine Bear factory.
If you are ailing due to a chronic disease and are left permanently invalid before retirement age, you may want to check if you qualify to receive invalidity benefit. The invalidity benefit exists for persons who are unable to continue working due to permanent illness. To qualify, you must be under 60 years old, must be sick for 26 consecutive weeks and certified to be medically unable to perform any type of work, must have at least 5 years of paid SSB contributions and at least 5 paid within the 3 months leading up to your illness. If you do not qualify for the invalidity pension, you may be eligible for the invalidity grant. Want to know more about invalidity benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen Broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen Broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
So here we have 2 households, 2 kids doing what kids do, and 2 loads of stained covered laundry. One uses regular detergent, but only Fab has tough stain lifting power.
Wait, really? That's right. To get rid of all types of stains, use Fab. Adding Fab laundry detergent to the wash not only fights the toughest stains, but the colors won't fade. And Fab leaves clothes smelling fantastic. So pass it on.
Because your family deserves the best in laundry care. Fab, taking care of your laundry so you can take care of your family. Find it at your nearest store. Exclusively distributed by Big Limited.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
On Friday, a team of law enforcement officers, accompanied by officials from other government agencies, descended on Caribbean International Brewing Limited in one fell swoop. The raid on the makers of Mine Bear just outside of Carmelita followed a lead that was provided to the Belize Police Department, in which it was suspected that the proprietors of the company may have been conducting illicit activities. The operation yielded $3.1 million in cash. It also led to the detention of several Asian nationals who have reportedly committed immigration offenses. The joint operation, says Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, also included the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit.
We had received some information in respect to activities that may be occurring at that particular beer factory. Based on that, we put together a multi-agency task force headed by police and comprised of immigration, labor, FIU, income tax, as well as personnel from the ATIPS unit. They went in on the strength of a search warrant to conduct searches, looking for anything that may indicate the presence of human trafficking or money laundering within the particular establishment. Searches were conducted, and the search led to the discovery of over $3.1 million Belize dollars. That also comprised of U.S. currencies. Also found were a number of Asian nationals who had immigration violation in respect to their stay in Belize, and that includes the owner of the factory. Those persons who were found to have violated the immigration laws were charged by Immigration Department and were arraigned at Orange Walk Town Magistrate Court last Friday. In respect to the monies found, the FIU department is currently in possession of those money, and I think sometime this week they will apply to the court for permission to seize the money pending the outcome of money laundering investigation. Again, that's a process that will be required to go through the courts. And once the court gives the go-ahead for the money to be seized while the investigation is ongoing, then they will look more in depth in terms of whether or not the company were in compliance with the financial laws, i.e. filing taxes and paying their fair share of tax, as the case may be.
According to Compal Williams, the proprietor of Caribbean Brewing Company was reportedly in possession of travel documents for at least 8 individuals who are employed at the brewery, suggesting that human trafficking may be involved.
Also important to note was that it was also learned that the employer may have been withholding the passports of at least 8 employees. And again, that is an element of human trafficking. But so far, we have been trying to get those employees to cooperate with investigators, and that effort has been futile so far. Nonetheless, we will continue to see what can be done. In the event that any of them may wish to cooperate with investigators, then we can look more intensely at the human trafficking aspect of that investigation. There were also some labor laws infractions, as I was told, and I think the Labor Department is also looking into that aspect of the investigations. In the issue in respect to the money and them having receipts, it's an ongoing investigation. I'm sure that if it is that they can produce receipts indicating the collection of that sum and to show that they have paid their fair share of taxes, then the income tax and the FIU department are going to release the funds back to them. But they have an investigation to conduct to make sure that the collection of the money is, 1, legal, and 2, that taxes were paid.
A voice recording in which a well-known Belize City street figure is purportedly speaking about the commission of 2 recent murders in Ladyville is in circulation on social media. The voice is quite distinct, and while we will refrain from calling any names, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams explains the processes that would need to be undertaken, considering the fact that the individual in question is presently seeking asylum in the United States.
There certainly will be a lot that will be required to be done. Yes, we need to have some voice recognition expert who will be able to ascertain without any doubt that the person in the voice clip is indeed him. Yes, you and I, who may have come into contact with him on numerous occasions, can say at first glance that the voice is his, but we still need to go beyond that. And then we need to look to see whether or not the information in the voice clip is indeed credible, that what he described had actually occurred. And then once that is ascertained, then we can look at perhaps producing a warrant, because to some extent he is promoting gang activity. And under the gang regulations, we certainly will be able to charge him. Once we would produce the warrant for his arrest, then we would inform the U.S. authority and Interpol to indicate that he is wanted in Belize on that particular charge. And once he is captured and returned to the country, then we can proceed with court proceedings against him in respect thereof.
Coming up, this week's Culture Tuesday highlights La Fiesta del Pueblo.
Everything must come to an end. A much-needed vacation, or even a good book. What about the world? How will it end? Should we be worried about the end? Frightened even? What does the Bible actually say about the end? Tune in right here as we discuss the end.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Great Belize Productions Channel 5, proud winner of 9 Caribbean Media Awards for 2021. Best Investigative Report, Best News Item, Best Coverage of People with Disabilities, Best Financial Literacy Journalism, Best Videographer, Best Television Commercial Spot, and the People's Choice Award, with 2 special mentions for Financial Literacy Journalism.
The Code Caribbean Project survey has been halted following reaction from Belize and Barbados over certain questions that were posted to students as part of a school-based competency test. The project was being implemented in Belize and Barbados through funding from the Inter-American Development Bank and sought to provide technical skills in coding and entrepreneurial life skills such as collaboration, teamwork, and conflict resolution. But the Positive Youth Development Program included the Child Behavior Checklist, which is a general assessment tool used by pediatricians in hospitals. Within that checklist, however, the children were asked questions about sex and drug use without parental consent, suicidal thoughts, and if they wish they were of the opposite sex. It is intrusive, to say the least, and offensive. The issue sparked outrage in Barbados. Locally, a few students in 5 schools got those questions. It is not known how many answered and if it was recorded anonymously. In a release issued today, the Ministry of Education says, quote, "While these questions are deemed to be a measure of mental health and well-being, this ministry shares the concern of the public regarding the nature of the questions, which have been removed. The ministry hereby assures the public that the practice of seeking parental consent will continue to be observed," unquote. News 5 has confirmed that while it is being dubbed as a controversial survey, the questionnaire being used in the Code Caribbean Project survey is a public document that has been used for years and was reportedly used in Belize back in 2014. The annual La Fiesta del Pueblo was hosted by the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs in partnership with the Northern Maya Association and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology in San Jose Nuevo Palmar in Orange Walk District on Sunday. It was a fun-filled event for the entire family and for those who wanted to immerse themselves in the Maya culture in Belize. There was no shortage of artisan booths, traditional dance and musical performances and games. News 5's Dwayne Moody brings you the sights and sounds of the weekend festival in this week's Culture Tuesday.
O great spirit Iba, tubehil, chicken. Yeah. Sabe que alguien lo anda buscando. Tienes suerte porque parece que el monteador se... Bueno, estas líneas son de acá, de aquí de Palmar.
San Jose Nuevo Palmar, a small village on the outskirts of Orange Walk town, comes alive every year on the second Sunday of October. Its residents, primarily the descendants of the indigenous Yucatec Mayas, celebrate their history and culture in all its forms. Following a parade into the village, a brief ceremony is held before a burst of cultural presentations. It features traditional Mayan music. Men, women, and children are dressed in cultural attire, and there are performances that include the hog head and their dances, as well as a display of the ancient Maya ball game Pok-ta-Pok.
With the exception of last 2 years due to COVID, but it's a day where we showcase our culture through the music, to the food, the dances like you're seeing, the history. We have display of our community's history like other communities like San Lazaro, Yugo Creek, Agas, Pine Ridge. We showcase for example, how to prepare the pibil, typical food.
La Fiesta del Pueblo involves the entire community, from the young and the old. It was established 21 years ago, back in 2001, to ensure that the intangible cultural heritage of the people in San Jose Nuevo Palmar is preserved.
This is the time Palmareños celebrate the founding of our village from 1936, 8th of October. And so every year we proudly celebrate our history. San Jose Palmar dates back to hundreds of years from when this village used to be in the Yalbac areas. The village was relocated because there was conflict with the Belize State Company. But through that, in that process, we lost a lot of our villagers, moved to other parts of the country, some went to Mexico. But I think the essence of the community moved to present-day Palmar. So this is what we celebrate. We are proud Yucatecos, and we have a lot to show to the country.
While the festival has been held for the past 2 decades, most Belizeans are not aware of the event or its cultural connection to the history of the country. La Fiesta del Pueblo ties perfectly with the recent recognition of the Indigenous Peoples Resistance Day by the government of Belize.
They came here as a result of the caste war in the past in Yucatan, and they're trying to keep alive the culture and the heritage of the Yucatec Mayans. So definitely in line with what we here at the ministry are supporting, but not only the culture, but the empowerment of our Maya people, including our Yucatec Maya brothers and sisters and the Mayas of southern Belize and the Garifuna people of Belize as well. It's very important, especially in these changing times and this globalization that has occurred, to keep that culture, to keep those cultural practices that in many communities such as this one is what helps to hold the community together.
We talk about cultural diversity over and over and over again, but every time you come to an event like this, you really feel the diversity. And that's really the only way, right? When you come to these kind of activities, you feel the difference between the various cultures that Belize has, and we really do have significant diversity. We have to celebrate our people, we have to celebrate our culture.
Co-founder of La Fiesta del Pueblo and Vice President of the Northern Mayan Association of Belize, Arturo Canton, says that over time there has literally been a cultural shift, and more communities are becoming proud of their indigenous roots.
This is one way of how we showcase and educate our people, not only Yucatec Maya, but the entire country. We think that by them learning more about, where they come from, the history of their community, they ignite some kind of interest.
The Maya Mestizo culture is so rich here in Orange Walk, especially in Nuevo San Juan, Palmar. And I invite everybody to come enjoy the food, great food. I mean, traditional Maya Mestizo dishes, from sweets, to the cochinita pibil, to the different styles of tacos, different mukum, the things I can't even pronounce, but they're delicious.
Immersing in the Maya cultural experience, not only did I sample the foods, but I also learned a couple phrases. Laktush, Tintush, Tiktash, Kimak Olal, Kini, Dwayne Moody.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.